Okay, here are my predictions that I made from 1986 onwards. So some of these things that you see here, these were actually made in 1986. Now on the left-hand side are the planets. So here you see Pluto, and Pluto, as I've written here, radical change around the world, oil, mining, the wars, revolutions, and global events that happen around the world which affect the masses, and all the fated events at a global level. Even the extremism is part of that. Now this was in the sign of Sagittarius. And that's why I said major reform in the education system, which leads to better forms of education, etc. Also, we had said that first orbiting space centers established and global networks, or the worldwide networks in television between North America, Europe, and Japan, etc. All these things that happen, the gravitational propulsion, all kinds of things are happening which we don't even know about actually. But even the religious reform, the extremism leads to religious reforms. All this part happened. And then by November 2008, and from that time, Pluto went to the sign of Capricorn, the sign of government, the sign of geology, the sign of rocks, and that's why I predict the geological revolution should continue for several years. That's why you'll see all these earthquakes, etc., all of them culminating in February, March, and April of 2011, which is unfortunately a very disastrous aspect for the Earth, the closest that we'll have to asteroids or anything, and you'll see it on my website if you go to astrotrends.net. So here are all the themes here, the laws against casual abortion established, and global warming becoming critical, and virtual government on the internet. Everything that Obama has been promising, actually this is what's been happening here. But the most dangerous one is the EM weaponry, the electromagnetic weaponry used also. And I do believe that they're going to be using that very soon. And then you have Neptune. So here's Neptune, the planet of fantasy, the planet of ocean, of scandals, of music. And here an ocean also, of course, and harnessing of solar energy, of ocean energy. So creativity and inspiration combined with high tech. And if you know that, that's of course the motto of Apple and Steve Jobs. This is based on all this thing. Now we predicted in 1986 about rainforest cafes type of themes, and analog to digital, all these conversions began and all. And the 3D projection, which is happening now, and the animated age of the movies. And this started with that Neptune being in Aquarius. When Neptune was in Leo, we had the age of the golden movies, and now we have the animated age of the movies, and where digital actors and all that, that's all happening now, and holographic actors as well. This will continue. One of the most spiritual aspects is happening from about 2012 onwards. That's when all some great composers and painters born in even the music therapy in Vogue, etc. Then you'll have Uranus, which is the inventive aspect, the high tech, all the new inventions that, just like Neptune is analog, this is digital technology. So here's, of course, the cell phones became common, along with Pluto being in Sagittarius, massive mass communication. But one of the most interesting our prediction was about major tsunamis triggered by underwater earthquakes. Exactly the timeline was exactly what we had predicted, as you can see right here. As Uranus went to the sign of Pisces, Uranus is upheavals, Pisces is ocean. But also some of the greatest musicians are being born. Mozart was born with this. Every 84 years, Uranus moves into this sign. And after this, it will go into the sign of Aries, which all the technology and new discoveries in nuclear and atomic technology will happen at that time. Then you have Saturn. One interesting prediction about this, which we made based on October of 1929, the crash occurred when Saturn was in the sign of Sagittarius, the sign of stock market, of gambling. Same thing happened in 1987, and we predicted that crash in October. And the next one that's happening is October of 2017, the major stock market crash that time. And then you have Jupiter, which is the opportunities, all the positive themes happening. And this is coming with the sign of Taurus. Actually, this year it's in Pisces, and of course, all the holographic projections. This year you'll see some of the most beautiful technology actually, but also many of the stars doing all these free concerts, etc. That's all humanitarian themes that are coming up. And then it's going into Aries, and then next year, about June of 2011 till June of 2012, it goes in the sign of Taurus, the sign of real estate. We made the prediction 88 till May 89, and exactly to May 89, there's a major boom in real estate. Nobody has seen this, but this is exactly what's happening. Major real estate boom from June of 2011 till June of 2012. But the most dangerous time, unfortunately, is February, March, and April of 2011. We'll talk about that in another segment. Till then, it's your astrologer, Hassan Jaffer, wishing you all the best.